Alright, welcome back again, everyone. Today we'll discuss Chapter 7, Managing Risk, using the same for the Project Management, Project Integration Management class. This is using a McGraw-Hill 2021, okay, in terms of copyright. This is a Project Management Manager Process book. The slide is owned by Eric and Clifford Gray. Okay, let's start the process. Where we are now, we are at the managing risk. Chapter 6 is here, number 7 is managing risk here. There's quite a number of learning objective here from 1 to 9. Okay, in terms of describing the risk management process, understanding how to identify project risk, all the way to describe the change control. Okay, we're gonna have about 9 chapter outline from risk management process all the way to the change control management. Okay, we're going to dive in now step by step. Risk management process. What is the risk management? Risk is defined as an uncertain event or condition that, if it occurs, has a positive negative impact on the project objectives. No amount of planning can overcome or control this. Okay, risk management defined an attempt to recognize and manage potential and unforeseen troubleshoots that may occur when the project is implemented. What can go wrong? Risk event. How to manage the risk, event impacts, consequences. What can be done before an event occurs, and what to do when the events occur. Okay. Risk event graph. Risk here changes risk. Changes risk here, and then defining planning goes right all the way up. Benefit of risk management: a proactive rather than reactive approach. Reduce surprises and negative consequences, prepare project manager to take appropriate actions, provide better control over the futures, improve changes of reaching project objectives on time, within budget, and of meeting required performance. Okay, risk management process, step 1 to step 4. Risk identification is analyze the project to identify the source of risk. This is step 1, okay, known risk. And then step 2, doing a risk assessment. Assess the risk in terms of safety of impact, likelihood of occurring, and controllability, and then do a risk assessment such as risk response development, develop a strategy to reduce possible damage, develop a contingency plans. Okay, step 3, and then do a risk management plan such as risk response control, implement risk strategy, monitor and adjust plan for new risk, and do a change management. 7.2, okay, which is the objective number 2. Step 1, risk identification. Let's go back. Make sure we generate a list of all possible risks that could affect the project using brainstorming and other problem identification techniques. Focus on the event that could produce consequences, not on project objectives. And using a breakdown structure RBS in conjunction with work breakdown structure WBS, okay, to identify and analyze risks. Identify the macro risk that specific area can be checked, and use risk post-wall list of questions to address traditional area and certain project. Okay, this is RBS, risk breakdown structure. We call it RBS, risk breakdown structure. In the project, there's a technical, external, organization, project management, and customer. So in terms of technical, there's a requirement all the way technology, complexity, performance, and quality area. Okay, the external will be subcontractor, regulatory, market, customer, weather. Okay, when I was with doing IFRS project, most of the coding is done in overseas by a third-party vendor like Tata Consulting, Infosys, and Cognizant. The risk, most of the risks are coming from the subcontractor. Okay, organizational, such as project dependency, resources, funding, and prioritization. For project management, like estimation, planning, controlling, and communication. For customer, acceptance, coordination, training, as well as support. What are the partial risk profile for product development projects, such as technical event? Are the requirements stable? That's number 1. In terms of design, does the design depend on unrealistic or optimistic assumptions? In terms of testing, will testing requirement be available when needed? In terms of development, is the development process supported by a compatible set of procedures, methods, and tools? And schedule, is the schedule depend upon the completion of other projects? The budget, how reliable are the cost estimates? Quality, are quality consideration built into design? Management, do people know who has the authority or what? Work environment, do people work cooperative across the functional boundaries? Staffing, Is staff inexperienced or understaffed? Customer, does the customer understand what it will take to complete the project? And contractor, are there any ambiguity in contractor's task definitions? Okay. Risk assessment, step number 2, scenario analysis. Assess the significance of each risk event in terms of probability and impact. Risk assessment evaluates the severity and probability of risk event and detection difficulty. Risk severity matrix prioritize which risk to address. Failure mode and effect analysis, FMEA. Extend the risk severity matrix by including ease of detection in the equation. Risk value equal to impact times probability times detections. Okay. Probability analysis use statistical techniques representing projects such as NPV, PERT, or PERT stimulation. Okay, the present values are common to decision tree, NPV, program evaluation, and review techniques such as PERT and PERT stimulation. These are the probability analysis that you can do. Define conditions, scale of the risk of a major project, objective, negative impact such as projective such as cost, time, scope, and quality, very low to all the way very high. For example, cost, insignificant cost increase, less cost increase, 10 to 20% cost increase, 20 to 40% cost is very high. This over 24% is very high, is high, over 40 is very high. Okay, time, insignificant time increase, less than 5%, 5 to 10% time increase, 10 to 20% times, over 20% is very high. Scope. Scope is scope decrease, very noticeable, minor scope affected, and then major area scope is affected, scope reduction is flexible, project and item is effectively useless. Quality, in terms of degradation, only demand applications are retractable, quality reduction requires sponsor approval, or quality reduction unacceptable for sponsor, project and item less. Okay. This assessment form from interface problem from likelihood is 4, impact is 4, detection difficulty 4, when is conversion. System freezing such as 2, likelihood, impact will be 5, this detection difficulty 5, startup. This is the most common problem when we have a system freezing for the new upgrade and for any system software upgrades. Users backlash, that's also another one. Likelihood, impact, and detection difficulty as well as post installation. The hardware malfunctioning from likelihood is mostly less likely. Impact will be big. Okay, installations, the key part for hardware malfunction. Risk severity matrix using FMEA, impact times probability times detection equal to risk value. So using here likelihood, use the backlash into this problem is increasing hardware malfunction. This is the red zone, represent a major risk. Yellow zone represent a moderate risk. Green zone represent a minor risk. So interface problem is a big one. Okay, when you have big company like BMO, RBC, Travelers Canada, Intech, they have all different system, 22 at least 20 to 15 systems. So it has to the system to system integration, they have to be integrated well. So that's the key part, interface problem. As the key part to is a big risk. So they have to maintain to make sure there's no such problem. So there is at least a way to mitigate that kind of risk. Okay. Step 3, risk response development. Mitigating risk, reducing the likelihood that the event will occur, reducing the impact that the adverse event will have on the project, avoiding risk, change the project plan to eliminate the risk or conditions, transferring, passing risk to another party, such as a fixed price contract, insurance, build, own to operate transfer, view to transmission, escalating risk, notify appropriate people within the organization of the threat, mitigating risk, making conscious decision to accept the risk of event occurring. Contingency plan defined is an alternative plan that will be used if a possible foreseen risk event become a reality, and is a plan of action that will reduce or mitigate the negative impact of the risk event as not part of the initial premise plan and only goes into effect after the risk is recognized. Risk of absence is a contingency plan, cause the manager to delay or postpone a decision to implement a remedy. Lead to panic and acceptance to the first remedy suggested, make decision making under pressure which can be dangerous and costly. Let's respond metrics here. Good example, this event such as interface problem, mitigate by testing the prototype, contingency plan by doing a workaround until half times and not solving the trials, then which response will be nil. Okay. System freezing, testing the prototype, reinstall the operating system. If it is still after 1 hour, who is responsible? Emilu example here, nils. Okay. So each interface problem, there's always somebody to mitigate the risk and in charge to responsible for that kind of problem. User backlash, mitigate prototype implementation, increase staff support, call from top management. Who is responsible will be AD. Equipment malfunction, mitigate selected vendor. That's a warranty or a replacement. Equipment fail, who is responsible will be Jim. This gives you an idea of the breakdown of risk mitigation strategy you can in place. And you must involve each professional that involved for each risk, so they are on top of it. Okay. Risk at contingency planning, tactical risk, backup strategy if chosen strategy fail, assess whether technical solution can be resolved, schedule risk, expedite the class to project to get it back on track, schedule activities is parallel or use start-to-start like relationship, use the best people to high risk task and cost risk, review the price to avoid the trap of using one lump sum to cover price risk, and funding risk to avoid the risk reduction in funding cut in a project. For opportunity management, opportunity is an event that can save positive impact on project objectives. Okay, by doing exploit, seek to eliminate the uncertainty associated with an opportunity to ensure that this definitely happens. For sharing, allocate some of the all ownership to an opportunity to another party who is best able to capture the opportunity for the benefit of the project. Enhance, which is take action to increase the probability or the positive impact of an opportunity. Escalate, notify the people within the organization of the opportunity. For example, if there's an issue, you cannot resolve it, you have to escalate right away to manager. Accept, be willing to take advantage of opportunity if it occurs, but not taking action to pursue it. Okay, contingency fund is the fund are covered to project risk, identified and unknown. For control purpose, contingency funds are divided into contingency reserve, cover identified risk, and allocate to specific segment and real project. Manage reserve to cover identified risk and allocated to risk associated with the total project. Time buffers are amount of time used to caution against potential delay in the project. At activities with severe risk, at merge activities that are prone to delays, and non-critical activity to reduce the likelihood that they can create an critical path, and activity that requires scarce resources. Good to give you an example of budget estimate. This is just baseline 1.42, contingent reserve 97,000, project budget will be 1.456. Each has its bucket design, code, test, and you have a subtotal, and then you have a management reserve 50,000 here. Okay, you get design 500,000, reserve 15,000, total will be 515. Code, the same thing, 900 coding, only reserve 80,000. You got a project budget 980, test 20,000, reserve 2,000, 20,000. Risk control, step number 4. Risk register, detail or identify risk, including description, category description, probability of occurring, impact, responses, contingency plans, owners, and current status. Risk control involves executing the risk response strategy, monitoring the triggering events, initiating contingency plans, watching for new risks, establishing a change management system, monitoring and tracking, reporting risks, fostering an open regulation environment, repeating risk assessment exercise, assigning and opinion responding, and managing risk. Change control management, source of change, project scope changes, implementation of contingency plans, improving changes. Change management system, such as identifying proposed changes, list expected effect proposed change on schedule budget, review and evaluate and approve disapprove changes formally, negotiate and resolve conflict of change, condition, and cost, communicate changes to parties affected, assign responsibility for implementing change. Number 7, adjust the master schedule and budget. And number 8, track all changes that are implemented. So the change control process, the flow is like this. Change originate, there's a change request submitted, review the change, request, approve, yes, go all the way, update the primary code, and dispute the action. If it is no, go back again. Okay, go all the way until it gets accepted. So this is the flow chart of the submission of the change request. Benefits of change control system. Insequential changes are discouraged by formal process. Cost of changes are maintained in log. Integrity of WBS. And performance is maintained. Allocation and use contingency and management reserve are tracked. Responsibility for implementation is clarified. The effects of changes is visible to all parties involved. Implementation of changes is monitored. Consequences will be quickly reflected in the baseline and performance measure. Example of change request can be submitted like here is the way. Project name is Chinese Culture Exchange. Project sponsor will be Arts Embassy. Origin Jerry McDonald. The description change. Request refer dancer to replace small Irish dance group. Request organ dance will refer to Chinese ballet group. So it's a good example here. Okay, project customer. Change request form. Change request log. Example from number 51. COS worksheet. Amount like here, 180,000. Funding from other sources. 52 stainless plates at restroom, shower falls. This is the documents approved all the way here. Submission status give you an idea. Change our waterproofing options, and then change our floor box, spec change, and then option of style rail here. Low sample all the way here. Pressure wash as well as here. Firelight gas is over here. Cyber cafe is here. Okay. Open means required statement. Raw means draft order magnitude. Quote means subcontractor. Submit, which is RC submitted. Approve device is here. Okay. So that's the key part, guys. This gives you an idea of the change request form. This is the key part in terms of key terms that you need to understand. Avoiding risk, change management system, contingency planning, contingency reserve, escalation risk, management reserve, mitigating risk, opportunity, hidden risk, risk breakdown structure, RBS, risk profile, risk registration, risk register, risk matrix, scenario analysis, time buffer, as well as transferring risk. And then the next one will be appendix, PERT and PERT stimulations. What is PERT? PERT is a program evaluation and review technique. Okay, assume each activity duration has a range that statistically follow beta distribution. Use three estimates for each activity: optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely time to estimate to represent activity duration. From this, so estimate weighted average time and estimate environment is calculated. Knowing the weighted average environments for each activities allow the project planner to compute the probability of meeting different project durations. The longer the project duration is, the higher is the probability of meeting that duration. This is the activity, these are the project. Gives you a time calculation in terms of weighted average, computed by following formula. These are the formula. TE means weighted average activities. A means obtained activity time. B is pessimistic. M is most likely time. This is the activity time calculation. The variety of each time calculation based on using standard deviations. Standard deviation of the project here, the formula, and the buffer is the square foot of the sum of the events of all critical tasks. This is time of the project. This is the activity. So the first one here is the activity standard deviation only. The second one is the standard deviation of the project. Okay. This is active time variance, give you a 1 to 2, give you an example, and this calculation here. Okay, and then go to the next one, probably completing project. The equations below, compute the Z, number standard equation, that's the probability completion of the project. This is how a hypothetical network flowcharts give you an idea in terms of AOM network. Okay. And then give you this one is a probability project duration using an estimate of statistical value. Using this is the Z value. Okay, from 67 unit, give you an idea, plug in the number to this number. Okay, and this is project of 60 times your unit. This is the number. Okay, this is the Z value using standard deviation value Z. This is the value of probabilities. Give you the Z value. This is the probability. This is the Z value. This is the value of probability. give you an example here. One is the 67, the other one is the 60 units. So there's a difference there. So that's basically on. Again, this basically conclude the McGraw-Hill slide. This is owned by McGraw-Hill again in terms of copyright. Okay, so I will post this video in YouTube as well as in Edpuzzle for your interactive learning in my Guru 8888. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.